This is where love gets honest. We've been searching through the noise, trying to hear our hearts speak clear. Yeah, dating with intention now, letting go of fear. Learn to love me first, yeah. Healing all my scars. Now I'm showing up whole, knowing who you are. No more settling for less. I choose truth, I choose me. If it's real, let it grow. If it's fake, let it be. Affirm the real. Love that heals. Love you can feel. We speak life. Yeah, we reveal. Hearts align. This love is real. Affirm the real. Love starts here.
I love that intro.
Hey, we still be getting excited. Hey,
Man, I'd be like, I'd be waiting for the hook, like, dun, 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 take a firm.
we be going hard in the paint with our new intro.
Man.
What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? We are so
Hello,
excited
everyone.
to be here with you
darlings.
all on this
Hello,
Tuesday
darlings.
evening. How's everybody doing this evening? Y'all good? Okay, that's good. We are so glad for you all to be here this evening for this particular conversation. If you don't know, I am Keya McLean, the poet. That beauty right there. You see her? Man, let me tell you something about her. What's your name, girl?
Shimeka Arnold, the DAR therapist.
Boom.
There you
Boom. That's my beautiful cousin and my co-host for Affirm the Real. Much love to you all. We are closing out the first quarter of the year. What?
Yay!
We have finished out the first quarter of 2026. That's what's up. And tonight we are talking about something that is gonna give you a opportunity to think outside of the box if you are in the box thinker. Yes. We are not trying to tell you how to think or how to feel or what to believe or what to practice, or we're not doing any of those things. But we are sharing a conversation about people and about differences that exist out in the world, something that we may not have covered before in the past. Now, it's several reasons that I thought about this particular topic. I've been looking at some articles lately about some different makeups of relationships. I've met some people who are in some different types of relationships. And one of the people that I was talking to said, a lot of people don't talk about it. Most people talk about traditional type of relationships, but they don't talk about those non-traditional types of relationships. Mm-hmm. And so I said, well, let's kind of go over in that neighborhood on Affirm the Real.
Let's do it.
So welcome everybody this evening. Welcome everybody. Love doesn't always look like what you feel like love looks like. Mm-hmm. Of course, we all have our specific beliefs and thoughts about that, but there are other people who find love in various ways. Okay. Mm-hmm. Y'all got to excuse me because my allergies have been kind of acting up. So my voice has also been kind of acting up. It's going in and out. One of the first, and Shimeka and I actually hit on the first thing I'm going to talk about before. We talked about this particular subtopic before. And that is couples who don't live together. And Shirley Rav, who's an actress, and her husband is a judge, they live in different cities. And they see each other once a week. Now, I know that when we hear that another couple or other couples do things differently than us, typically we cringe because we don't think other people can do different things, right? So
Right.
we cringe like, oh, I couldn't do that. I would never. But as I thought about it, I'm like, I don't know that particular situation would be a setup for me. But as everybody knows, because we've talked about it, Marcus travels for work. He hasn't been traveling in the last couple of months, and I did tell him to tell the job to get busy creating some itineraries for him so that we could stay married and I'll still like him because I need a break. Okay.
Dead.
However, howsoever, okay. Yes,
Dead.
and babe, love you, okay? But it's your ass on the road.
Traveling. Get to traveling.
It's time to go, babe. It's time to go. It's time to go. Okay. You're a great producer. You're a great husband. You're great at all of them things.
All the
I need
things.
a break. I need the house to myself for a week. So yeah, they gonna
Like
have
I'm used to it. You can't change it up right now.
yeah. This has been our thing for 5 years. Like I like having those breaks, and he likes having those breaks. While he saying "love you too, babe," he likes having those breaks too.
Mhm.
We're very similar in that, and there's nothing wrong with having that separation and having that distance between you all. Because me personally, when I had relationships where we were constantly around each other and constantly doing things with each other, it was too much for me. I did not carve out enough time for myself sometimes in those types of relationships. They didn't carve out enough time. And some of those relationships actually became too codependent. So in terms of like living separately, I don't know that would be my desire, but I don't know. I don't know. And I'm more open to it now at 50. I am so much more open to, would this work for me? Right. And it's not that traditional. We got to live in the same house together. We got to live in the same this together. You know, there are some differences. And so this is a dynamic that is changing. Now, some of the reasons, you know, just through my research that people are deciding to live separately is for their independence. Some people have been single for so long that they want to continue maintaining independence. And that's a big deal for some people. Some people are very particular about their personal space. So they don't want anyone coming in their space, and they don't want to go in someone else's personal space.
Right.
And then there's the blending family challenge. So some people have kids, some people don't have kids, some people don't want to deal with that aspect of it. It also could be that you don't really mesh well with the other person's family. And so you just decide, you know, I'll just stay over here. We can hang out and spend time together when we do, but I don't like your family, or your family doesn't like me. And I don't want that to be the reason why we're not together, right? So it's a number of factors out there. It could also be what I alluded to at first with me and Marcus, and that is work style. Like some people work some really odd schedules. And so that could just be a preference for you all to say, just based on our work schedule, you know, I don't really want to do that. So one of the things that I want to mention as it relates to this particular topic, living separately, is I think we've been taught that the closer you are, the closer the connection. The closer that you are physically, the closer the connection. But proximity does not always equate to connection.
Right. Because you can be in the room with somebody and y'all not,
and feel lonely. I've been there before, right? So thanks for welcoming everybody in, babe. He's such a great producer. Thanks y'all for joining us. I'm trying to stay focused and not look at the comments so much
I
right
will,
now.
and I'm looking like
only because we got a lot of things to cover, and I want to be able to get through these things in this conversation. And then at the end, we will spend time on questions and comments and feedback. And just remember, we don't give a shit if you don't like what we're saying, but we'll listen. Okay. Okay.
That's right.
Now I want you guys.
What she said.
Got my back, cousin.
Got you.
So y'all might want to write. I'm going to ask questions at the end of each section too. So you guys might want to ask questions. And then we want to ask you all some questions and come back to these questions later. So if you want to write the questions down, if you want to record it, however you want to do it, we're going to come back and ask these questions later. So the first question is, does living together equal commitment? If somebody can write that in the comments for me, if I can get somebody, maybe Angie, if you can write that in the comments for me, that question, does living together equal commitment? Okay, write that question out for me, please. And then the next question is, can distance actually strengthen intimacy? That's the second question. Can distance actually strengthen intimacy? So the first question, does living together equal commitment? That's the first question I need somebody to put in the comments. And then the second is, can distance actually strengthen intimacy? Thank you, babe. All right. So we're going to move on to the next subtopic under this arch.
Okay.
Cousin, did you want to add something to that? I'm sorry.
Well, okay. I was gonna say, I was thinking, because I was like, okay, you don't want me to answer the questions though.
Don't answer the questions, but
don't answer the
speak
question.
to anything that I've said thus far.
Okay, so what you said thus far is just having different, because the thing is that what if things aren't cookie cutter? So I was gonna say, what if life is not cookie cutter, and what if it's okay to choose you and your I'm loud. I feel like I'm loud. I'm in my office today. I don't want to be too loud outside because I got the noise canceling headphones, and now I'm like, okay.
It makes you louder. I know.
It does.
And I'm already loud. I already got the big mouth problem. I can't even come up with that. I can't say it's because of noise canceling. It's because I'm loud.
I'm loud too. So I was gonna say, and so what if it's okay for people to choose for themselves what's best for them? Because you said, like, am I okay with being distant? Being in different areas. I know somebody that, like, they went everywhere together, and I was like, y'all doing too much. But they had been together for like 50 years. They was like an older couple, and they were like, wherever I go, he goes, since high school. No, I think they knew each other in middle school. And they was okay with it.
So repeat your question again for the audience. What if it's okay?
I said, this is a question. What if it's okay for people to choose what they want to choose for themselves? What works for them? And here's the thing though. You have to make sure you're not choosing because that person's like, this is what I want. You're like, okay, I want that too, because I've done that. And I was like, oh, maybe I don't want that. You have to check in with yourself. See what you're comfortable with. And everybody don't need to be in your business. Everybody don't need to be in your business. You might have an open relationship, and you might not want to tell nobody, hey, I seen your man. You be like, you did. I seen your man with somebody else. Did you? Okay. Now I'm be like, boy, you got to be a little cautious where you go.
Yeah, because they're all in our business, right? All in it. Okay. Well, with that being said, we're going to go to the next subtopic, which is, there are people that have, believe it or not, some people identify differently. There's lesbian, there's gay, there's transsexual, there's bisexual, there's a number of different sexuality and identifications, right? And my niece had to teach me about, respecting where she was, right? And that was difficult for me at first because I wasn't used to that. It was something different. But what I did not do was disrespect her, judge her. I tried to understand. So I did ask questions. I asked questions for clarity and for understanding. The
Mm-hmm.
questions were not to judge or demean
Mm-hmm.
or to try to tell her what she should be doing with her life
Mm-hmm.
because it's her life. So I'm not interested in telling people how to live their lives because it doesn't affect me. The only time I'm going to tell anybody anything is if it directly impacts, affects, or infects me. Other
Right.
than that,
Did you
do
say
what you
infect?
do.
Did you say infects me?
Infect. And when I say infect, I mean your spirit.
Okay,
So if
got
your spirit is infecting my spirit,
got you.
I, otherwise, I don't care. Do
Mm-hmm.
what you do, make whatever decisions that are best for you. I am not in the business of telling anybody who they should love, how they should love, and what that should look like.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm most interested in is if your relationship is healthy,
Mm-hmm.
if both of you have healed or are healing,
Mm-hmm.
and that there's respect and honest communication there.
Right.
Because as it pertains to relationships, I'm always interested in people having healthy dynamics in their relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever the relationship is does not concern me. But is it healthy? Are you all healing? Do you all have healthy coping mechanisms?
Mm-hmm.
Do you all know how to step away when you're upset and not get physical with one another? Outside of that, what happens in your four walls does not affect Kia's life. And if
Right.
I'm honest, it doesn't affect anybody's life. So for those that have opinions and thoughts and suggestions, you're free to have them. Just understand that does not have anything to do with you. It doesn't impact your life whatsoever what other people are doing.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that we all have our own personal beliefs,
Right.
opinions,
Mm-hmm.
experiences, and thoughts about that. But again, my interest as it pertains to any relationship is this a relationship that is respectful?
Yes.
Do you all have mutual respect for one another?
Mm-hmm.
Are you all being honest with each other? Are you
Right.
guys growing together or growing apart? So, I did not get my second question for the previous subsection in. So I'm going to put that question in before I move to the questions here.
Okay.
Um,
So, so yes. So if it's not affecting me, so you said your cousin was had to explain to you about relationships or the relationship that she's in or that she's choosing to be in.
so my niece wants to be, she does not want any specific, she wants pronouns.
Okay.
She wants to be referred to as pronouns. So
Them they.
I cannot refer to her as a she. I'm saying that now, but
Yeah.
it's they, them. It's not a she. You know,
Mhm.
I can't use those references when I'm talking about them.
Mhm.
I have to use them or they.
Yeah. That's
So
difficult too, and that's
so it
difficult
is,
sometimes.
and what I said was, and or I'll just say their name, right?
Mhm.
Because that's a lot
Mhm.
easier for
That's
me. So
easier.
I'll say
Mhm.
to her, you
Mhm.
know, I'll say, you know what?
Mhm.
I just need you to bear with me,
Mhm.
right? I need you to just stick this out with me and have some grace as I
Mhm.
continue to practice this
Right.
because this is
Right.
going to be practice for me. I'm not
Mhm.
going to just all of a sudden,
Jump
you've been
in.
my
Yeah.
niece for 20 something years, and then now I just have to retrain my brain
Mhm.
to understand that no, now I have to reference you a different way. And I'm
Yeah.
going to respect that
Yeah.
because that's what you prefer, right?
Mhm.
And so I can have my own personal beliefs. They're mine for myself. They're
Mhm.
not mine to tell nobody else. I
Mhm.
don't think you should do this, and I don't think you should
Mhm.
feel this way or live your life this way. Those are my thoughts, my opinions, it has nothing to do with anybody else,
Right.
right? So I can keep that to myself, or I can share it with a close friend, or I can share it with my cousin or my husband, but they're mine.
Mm-hmm.
And people who are living their lives happily don't care to hear your opinion anyway. They
Right.
just don't.
Right. I know that, and I remember meeting a person. See, I was about to say their gender. So I remember meeting a person, and they wanted to be
Mhm.
considered them, they, and it was difficult. Especially, I do this thing where I'll be like, she said da 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 da, or he said da da da, da. And I was
Yeah.
like, and I did that, and they were like, them, they, and I was like, I'm sorry.
Yeah. I mean, luckily they were very understanding. Cuz I right now, even as I'm saying it, I just take a pause,
Mm-hmm.
right? I just take a small pause, a brief pause. That doesn't take me a long time. It doesn't hurt me,
Mm-hmm.
to do that. And so
Right.
to
And
have
then
the
it builds a
relationship,
relationship.
it I want the relationship with my niece. I
And that's
don't
what's,
give a
yes.
shit about who she loves, who she sleeps
And
with,
and there it is. And
I
there it
don't
is.
care as
And that's
long
what's
as I stay
important.
connected to my niece.
Yes. And that's it right
So,
there.
and I would hope that more parents and family members would just accept their family, because people are committing S to end their lives
Mm.
because of the stress of this. People are harming themselves, people are harming other people,
Yeah.
because they're not accepted and they don't feel
Hmm.
loved and understood. And
Right.
so it is something that, um again, you're free to believe and think however you want to believe, but again, not loving someone and not caring for someone because of who they love or who they sleep with, I just think it's um it's hurtful to the people that are affected by that. And at the
Right.
end of the day, it truly does not affect you.
Right.
Like,
But
if you really
but I think
consider that.
but I think parents look at it as like your representation of me. But I think we're not, like as an adult, like as you're training children to be their own individual personalities. Individual, first of all, they come in with their own individual personality, and you're training them for them to be adults and be their
Mhm.
own person, not to like, okay, you're a representation of me, and we're not. Like, I'm not a representation of my mother, my father. I'm my own individual person because I have different beliefs than they do.
Yeah.
My belief system is totally different than theirs. They look at me, they be like, that's just Shamika.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, so I'm
And you're
appreciative.
still, and I'm glad you said that, right?
Hmm.
Because you
Hmm.
are a great example of just being different from a lot of people in the family. You're a
Hmm.
great example of that. You don't believe the same way a lot of people in the family do.
Hmm. Hmm.
You don't have some of the same ways as a lot of people in the family. But here's the great thing: despite all of that, despite all the differences, right?
Hmm.
Because people call it black sheep, but
Hmm.
really for you, you're not black sheep because you're not ostracized and pushed out of the family.
Right.
People love you.
Right.
They just know that that's who you are. They
That's
accept
Shamika.
you, embrace you, and that's it, right?
Hmm.
And if there's
Yeah.
something said, they saying that shit behind closed doors because they know saying it to your face is not going to change anything. You're going to
Right.
still be who you are,
Right.
with or without them.
But it took me a while to get here. It took me a while to get to a place of where I was comfortable with being different, right? Because,
Mm-hmm.
it was still this, I still wanted to be fit in. I still want to fit in a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And so it took me a while to get to a place of accepting me, accepting who I am, and being okay with the little comments. It's still like some little comments I still be like, right? But then I get over it. I get over it like that. I'd be like, all right,
Yeah.
and moving on.
Yeah.
I might talk about, I might be like, they said this. And it's like, okay.
But it don't change nothing at the end of the day.
No, I'm still, yeah, it's not
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
It doesn't change anything.
You know why? Because I'm not out here to live a life of misery.
So I'm glad you said that because that was definitely coming up. And this is a very important conversation, because I think for many people, despite traditional, non-traditional, because everybody else say it and do it, in the box, follower, whatever, doing things differently, whatever your path is, let that be your path. I walk my path, and I know people got shit to say about it, and I don't care. I don't. And no, and I'm not saying that to be like an ass or anything. I'm just saying it because I got less years in front of me than behind me. Why do I care about what somebody is saying about my life? I don't
Cause
care. Like,
what?
and I think when people, even when I've heard other people say I don't care, and I've watched them care,
Right.
and it's like, no, but you do care. And it's okay to care. It's okay to care that people are judging you and people feel a way about you. But I think you still need to live your life for you. At the end of the
Yeah.
day, live the life that you want to live authentically, so that you don't feel like I'm missing out on happiness and joy. Recently, I was watching Luther Vandross documentary,
I saw
and
that
I
too.
love Luther Vandross, y'all. I'm talking about fanatic. I was
Mm.
a fanatic at one point. So anyway, I watched the documentary, and it made me so sad, because his friends were saying at the end
He couldn't
he
live his
did not get
yes.
love because he
Yes.
cared so much about what people thought about him.
I and that song, girl, that song every time now after watching that documentary, every time that song come on, the one I can't think of it right now. But girl, I get so sad for him. You know what song I'm talking which one? Do you know which
It's
one?
a bunch of them.
It's one of them that specifically because they played it and it got stuck. I can't think of it now. I'll sing it
I don't
one day.
remember. But I
Never
mean,
seen
I
what?
felt
Never
so
seen
sad
it.
for him.
Yeah.
Like, you're not even, he never, and he died without being happy. He had all this success, right? He had accomplished things that people dream of accomplishing. I mean,
And
everything. And
couldn't
it
live
was
it
so
no more.
cool. It was so cool because he manifested that life. And if you really paid attention to it, where he said, I'm going to work with this person, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going, he manifested all of these other things in his life, but love.
Mm,
And that really, I mean, I just felt something deep inside for him,
yeah.
because I'm
Yeah.
like, man, this man was one of the greatest. He was one of the greatest, but could not find happiness. He
Yeah.
struggled with his weight because of that. When you don't live life authentically, there's something that's going to happen to your body. There's something that's going to happen internally to you when you
Yeah.
don't live an authentic version of your life.
Yep.
And so, all I'm saying is, everybody is not cookie cutter.
Yep.
Everybody doesn't look the same. Everybody
Hmm.
doesn't need to be the same. And in terms of the various sexual identities that are out there, let people live their lives. It does not require us to understand it. It does not require us to be in agreement about it.
Hmm.
It does not require us to feel like we have the authority to tell other people what they should and should not do in their lives to make them happy. So, the first question under this subtopic, if y'all got y'all pens out,
Look at you checking.
is because I really do want people to kind of think about this on a deeper
Hmm.
level.
Hmm.
Can you love someone and still not fully understand them? I can love my niece and not fully understand, her decision or her desire to be called this or that.
Hmm.
I'm not saying that I don't understand it.
What if it's not about understanding though? What if it's about acceptance? What if that's what's important is acceptance, right? I don't ever have to understand anybody if I accept you.
Mhm. And I think that's a big point. It's more about acceptance than it is about understanding. So I'm gonna go ahead and post that question. Make sure we got
What's
that.
and then what's the second one?
And then the second question is, and I'm going to type that one as well. What does respect look like when lifestyles differ?
Mm. It's interesting too because people think there's uh there's different concepts of respect too, what that means and what that looks like.
I got it, babe. So, first question, can you love someone and still not fully understand them / just accept them, right?
Mm.
Because you're right, they still may not understand it, but it's
Hmm.
more so about the acceptance of it.
Hmm.
And then what does respect look like when lifestyles differ?
Mm. What does
What
respect mean?
So respect is you not feeling like your opinion or your judgment should come to me about my lifestyle. So it's,
Okay.
well, you shouldn't do this and you shouldn't do that. And no, give me respect because I give you respect. I don't need for you to understand it, like you just said, right?
Hmm.
Um, I just need you to respect that we're different.
Hmm.
Respect the fact that you live a certain way and I live a certain way,
Hmm.
and that respect is reciprocal, and that I'm giving you respect for your lifestyle. I might not agree with traditional,
Hmm.
right? I
Right.
might not agree with the way that you're doing things. I might not see that as a way for me, but it has nothing to do with whether or not I should project that onto someone else,
Right.
right?
Right.
And now I'm getting to the point where I'm being disrespectful because I'm telling them, well, I believe this, and this is my experience and my opinion and my thoughts on it. And because of that, what you're doing is wrong.
Hmm. Hmm.
Now you're disrespecting me because I did not ask for your opinion. I did not ask for your judgment. I did not
Right.
ask about your personal beliefs.
Hmm.
You asked me, or you saw something that showed you my love interests were, and then you decided to disrespect me by telling me your opinions and your thoughts and your feelings about
Hmm.
it when that wasn't required.
Hmm.
So it's just about having a level of respect for people who are you. Really
Hmm.
relates to that. So I hope you guys either wrote down the questions or you can come back to the questions in the comments. The next subtopic is respecting other people's relationship choices. So first one was, can you live long distance? Can you live separately? Can you take long periods of time where you're not seeing each other? The second is dealing with people who have varying sexual identities, or identify differently than the traditional way.
Hmm.
And now we're talking about respecting other people's relationship choices.
Hmm.
Now, we do know that everything is not for you, and that's okay, right?
Hmm.
Everything is not for you.
Yeah.
Everything ain't for me. I can,
Hmm.
I can, I can, in an educated way, look at something and say, I wouldn't do that.
Right.
But again, what did I say? My parameter was,
Right.
as long as it doesn't hurt me, it doesn't affect me, it's not harming me in any way, it,
Hmm.
it doesn't impact what's happening in my four walls.
Right.
It's I can't care about what how other people live their lives because there's
Hmm.
too many of us in the world. So imagine me caring about the thousands of people, the millions of people that think differently than me, that
Hmm.
the all of these different. And so I think that that's important for us to reflect on, that it's okay for people to be different.
Right.
It's okay. And I remember, I don't know if I shared it with you guys before, but I know I shared it on my other podcast. And that is, I'm so glad that my mother moved me from St. Louis, Missouri at the age of 6 to LA at the age of 6. Now, I'm going to tell y'all, this was essential
Mm.
for, I believe, the open mindedness that I have. because when we moved to LA when I was
LA.
6, Inglewood, okay, to be specific, when we moved to Inglewood, I was like, oh, look at all these different people. Like, I was amazed because when I was in St. Louis, I was in the hood. So who was there? People that looked just like me, people that talk like me, people that I felt connected to. But then I get to LA and I'm like, wow, Samoans and Asians and Mexicans and Africans and all of these varying people. And I was like, wow, it opened my eyes, it opened my mind. And I wanted to learn about so many differences that existed in this world. And I'm like, so that's why I say I give my mom big kudos for taking me out of that element and putting me in something so much bigger. And even in fact, there was a man that was gay that would dress up in a costume, and he would be walking through the streets twirling a baton. And I remember, I remember, like, he would just walk through the streets, downtown LA, downtown Inglewood. You would see this man a lot. And I remember asking my mom, why is he dressed like that? What is he doing? And even though I know for a fact that my mom was like, she probably didn't agree, right? She probably didn't accept and understand, but the way that she responded to me, I think was beautiful. And she said, there are different people in this world, and he's just showing you his differences. That's it.
I love it.
That's it. He's showing you his differences. Now, I'm a 6-year-old kid. She did not berate him. She didn't call him vulgar names. But now I heard them. I heard my uncles use those words. I heard specifically Black men use those words a lot. Very vulgar names. And when I would hear it, I would cringe because I'm thinking to myself, like, wow, somebody else's choice is causing you to call them out of their names. Like, I just want people to kind of sit with that for a bit, because what does that do for you? Like, what does that do for you internally to call somebody else's names who's living their lives
with the way they live in their life?
Because you're uncomfortable.
Because you're uncomfortable with the way they're living their own life.
But what about that is making you uncomfortable?
Right.
Maybe you should ask yourself that question. What about someone else's lifestyle makes you uncomfortable? Because it really doesn't affect you. Unless they're touching you or coming on to you. And even if they come on to you, you can just say, I'm not interested.
I'm not interested.
Appreciate you. But, you know, all of those things are interesting because you get to see that we've really been conditioned to all walk a particular straight line. And that makes the world boring as hell to me. We're all supposed to be different. We are. Everybody does not come in the world thinking the same, seeing things the same. Can you imagine everybody that's robotic. Then you're talking about a robotic system of people. And then that's just not, you don't learn that way. You don't grow that way. You don't have empathy that way. There's a lot of different things that we have been taught, and we just do it. And that's it. We don't think outside of that. It's just like, nope, that's what I was told.
That's it.
That's what I saw. And that's the only thing, right? Think about it like this. Excuse me. If because I grew up in St. Louis and then I moved to LA, but if I had lived in St. Louis all of my life, I probably would have only thought about things a certain way. I probably would have only seen the world a certain way. But because I moved around, I had the country experience of going to Kentucky every summer. I had the small city experience of St. Louis. I had the big city experience in LA. That gave me a wide range of varying understandings. And I appreciate and love that I had that, because I don't think within a box. I don't see things like most people see them. I'm not a traditional thinker, if you will. I don't think like a traditional person would think. In fact, when I talk to people a lot, oftentimes we don't agree on a lot of stuff, but that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay. I think that that's cool. So I want to address some comments here. I think the world is dealing with the understanding of the respect as the internet opened up the world to different cultures and people. Indoctrination makes them uncomfortable.
Hmm.
And I think as a people, we tend to just get uncomfortable about things we don't know about or we
Mm-hmm.
don't understand or that we've heard somebody say something about. And that
Right.
tends to make us uncomfortable and
Right.
it puts a defense up
Right.
and it almost like, oh, permission slip signed for me
Mm-hmm.
to judge, for me to ridicule, for me to
Mm-hmm.
attack.
Right.
Think about the types of crimes that are committed against people who love
Hmm.
differently.
Yeah.
Think about that. And what
Yeah.
kind of person you must be to commit that type of crime against someone that's minding their own business,
Right.
right? And again, doing research of this particular topic, one of the things that I remembered was it was a very touching story on Dateline about this young man that was gay in a relationship. Him and his partner were truly in love. It was beautiful to watch. Like they were very in love. They were about to take this amazing trip and they traveled a lot because he was
Mm-hmm.
a flight attendant. So they
Mm.
traveled together a lot. They were very happy and he went out for an evening walk just to get air, just to say, I just want to go take a walk. And these guys approached him and beat him to death.
Wow.
Now, imagine minding your business,
Hmm.
taking a stroll. Your partner is at home cooking dinner, waiting for you to return. You don't return. They hear
Wow.
ambulance, they hear sirens, they hear all of that.
Mm.
And they don't know that it's you out there bleeding to death from
Mm.
getting beat because of who you love. And it doesn't impact their life. It didn't impact their lives. They were
Mm.
driving by, they saw him, they knew that he was in a relationship or married to a man and
Mm.
and took his life.
Mm.
Do you know how crazy that is? Like that shit upsets me.
Mm.
That somebody would take somebody's life because of
Mm.
who they love. But we also live in a time where they take people's lives because of the color of their skin too. So we know that that's not.
That's what I was like, and that's what I was thinking. I was like,
Yeah,
yeah,
we know that
they
it's
take
not.
people's lives for less.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
let's talk about judgment.
Yeah.
It comes from a lack of understanding. It comes from conditioning. It comes from even personal triggers. Something may or may not have happened to you that created this trigger, right? And so that can also be a thing. And my heart goes out to those people that have had something tragic or traumatic happen to
Yeah.
them and it affects them in that way.
Yeah.
My heart goes out to those people and I hope that you get some therapy and you get the help that you need to work through that. But
Yeah.
other people's choices are has nothing to do with whatever happened to you.
Mm-hmm.
So understand, don't go and harm people that had nothing to do with what actually happened to you. Did you
Right.
want to speak on that one, cousin, before I move to the next one?
Mm. No, I think you touched on that. Yeah.
So you don't have to agree to respect. You don't have to agree.
Right. Right.
That's okay, right? I don't have any questions on that one.
Yeah.
But the fourth um subtopic is not one of the experience and that I see a lot of. And it's not this is not really necessarily about relationships, but it's about belief system.
Okay. You're frozen, cousin. Okay, cousin is frozen. Am I still? I think I'm still going. But I don't know if that's your internet, cousin. But
At the top.
cousin, cousin.
Uh-oh.
You froze.
Okay.
I said, my cousin froze. I don't know.
I was like, what's happening? What's happening?
She was on four. Okay, I don't know what she.
I'm like, what? Oh, all right, we
She was
back.
like,
So I'm going to repeat what I said. So it's this one-sided tolerance where I'm tolerating, I'm using tolerance because that was the best word I can come up with, but it's really more acceptance. It's
mm-hmm,
this one-sided acceptance where I can accept anybody. I don't
hmm,
really care. Like, be who you are, live the life you want to live, believe
right,
what you want to believe, love who you want to love. I can accept anybody.
right.
But a lot of people who believe a certain way, who love a certain way, they have zero tolerance
For
for
other people.
anybody or anything that doesn't think like them. And that is the part where I kind of want to sit on for a little bit.
Hmm.
Because if you want people to respect you and your views, your beliefs, your love is not the only one in the whole wide world. Let me assure you of that. There
Hmm.
are other people that have varying experiences, that love differently. Some people are very fluid. They can love a woman and a man. Some
Hmm.
people can love just one partner. Some people can be in an open relationship and have one main partner and have other people that they, want to explore other things with.
Right,
That's none of my damn business.
right, right.
It's just not. It's
Hmm.
not my business. So I don't really care. But I think if people can respect my lifestyle, because not everybody believes in marriage,
Hmm.
not everybody believes in living together before you get married. Some
Right.
people don't believe in one partner for the rest of your life,
Hmm.
but they respect me and I can respect their lifestyle.
Hmm.
So everybody does not have to think like you. Everybody does not have to believe like you. Everybody doesn't have to look like you and do it the way that you do it. And at the end of the day, you have to ask yourself this question. What is going to make me happy? I don't know how long I got here,
Right.
but the
Uh,
time I'm here.
less than 15 minutes. Oh, you meant living on this earth. Girl, I was like, you got a little less than minute.
Now you the clock.
I was like, oh, you was like, I don't know how much time I got. I was like, oh, you good, cause
And
I
then
was gonna say, oh,
go ahead, go ahead.
because I was gonna say, somebody loud again. Okay, I was gonna say too, with because even when Sir was talking about indoctrination. So when everybody, right, it's a group of people that believe the same thing or have been indoctrinated to believe the same thing, right? So somebody steps out of that and is like, I'm gonna choose this over here. So because you don't, so what it is like we want to bring you back over here so I can be comfortable
Mm-hmm.
so I can be comfortable. I'm bringing you back over here so I can be comfortable with what you
Mm-hmm.
because you stepping outside of the group, and we want you to stay right here in the indoctrination. When it's interesting because even African culture before all this, before outside of Western, even other cultures believe in having multiple wives.
Wise. Mm-hmm.
Some of them have multiple husbands.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but again, Western culture came and it's like, hey, you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to follow this rule because we said to follow this right here because this is the way to go, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's interesting because sometimes sometimes we don't want to be sometimes we want to live the way we want to live, you
Yeah.
know? And so it's because people's uncomfortability for not because they and again it sounds crazy to say like people's uncomfortability of other people stepping outside of what the norm is. Like it just sounds weird to say, but that's what's going on. I remember watching a documentary about women being circumcised and how they would take the children in this other country and they would take them as little girls to circumcise them to to sever the clitoris, or it was different ways of circumcision. But when say if the parents said no, I don't want my child circumcised, they would go to school and the kids would taunt them for not being
Mm-hmm.
circumcised
Mm-hmm.
to get them to conform,
Yep.
to conform. And so even like I've watched studies where they did like it's like the how easy we conform, how easy we conform to fit in because we want the acceptance of other people.
Mm-hmm.
We want people to accept us. We don't, and I and you know, but what if, just what if, what if we can get people, we can find our tribe, find our people that thinks like us, right? Why?
Mm-hmm.
What if we don't have to get somebody else to accept who we are? What if we like, you know what? We don't believe this, have the same beliefs. We don't have the same concepts, the same ideas. So let me go over here and try something. Let me find somebody else that does. And what if
Yeah.
that's okay? What if
Yeah.
that's okay?
What if that is okay? And that goes back. That was a great way to segue into what you said earlier. And what you said was, what if it's okay for people to choose what works for them?
Hmm.
What if that's okay? What if it's okay? Y'all been quiet tonight. Y'all been quiet tonight. Uh Ro, Ro, sir has chimed in with us, but y'all
So
been
did
quiet.
so did
Y'all been quiet
so
tonight.
did Angel. Angel did
I
too.
saw
Oh wait,
Angie. I saw
Angie.
Angie.
Go. Why am I trying to
Um
scroll down on the screen? I was like,
but
oh,
look, I think that it does cause you to pause and consider, you know, why is it that you think that that's your business? Like, let's start there.
right.
No, I mean, I'm being
No, that's
serious.
good. No, I know that's
Let's
so
start
good.
with
Like,
the question
why do
of,
we think that's your business?
why do you
Why
think
is
it
that
is
your
your
business?
business?
And I don't want to say this, and I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna be quiet.
Date, affirm the real. I'm gonna just say that.
Because Christianity make you say you got to believe what I believe, or you going to hell. I love you. That's why I'm trying to tell you to do what's right. Yeah, but wasn't you just okay? Oh.
But if I'm not happy, but what if I'm not fulfilled?
It
But
doesn't
what if
matter.
that,
Girl,
but
no. Christianity does not. No, Christianity does not. You cannot be like. First of all, for Chris, you can't be happy. You just got to sacrifice your life for Jesus, just like He did your life.
you're right. You're right. Thank you, cousin.
Because your joy will come when you're gone, when you're not in this earth. Because what's important is when you die,
Thank
not
you.
live. God put you on this earth to die to go to heaven.
Thank you.
He put you on this beautiful, beautiful green earth with the trees that God
Hmm.
formed and the animals and the birds that chirp and all the beautiful, wonderful things to just be miserable and die because heaven is better.
Yeah, that's what they saying. That's what they saying, cousin. That's what they saying.
Heaven
That
is better
you get to have joy and love and happiness when you
when you close
leave.
your eyes
But here, I'm gonna talk about you. I'm gonna talk about you for having joy
until
and
you
happiness
change your
and
life.
love.
Until
Why you
you better be
here?
miserable.
No, you're not supposed to do
You
that.
better be miserable.
No, you're not.
Mm-mm.
Because here's what we know. Some people, they love traditional.
Mm.
They love to look like everybody else. They love to do what everybody else is doing. They love that, right? I
Right.
see
Oop.
you, sir. I see you, sir.
Ah, we see it. Right. Oop.
Some people
Oop.
are open. Some people say, I'm free. I do whatever I want, right? What did they call those people in the 60s?
Hippies.
Hippies.
Mm-hmm.
They called them hippies, right?
Hmm.
So you got grouped into a category,
Right.
right? You had to be grouped into a category. And why did they do that? So they can ostracize those people, they can negatively about those people.
Right.
Okay? They
Right.
get because you have to be put in your own box because you don't fit in with the regular people,
And that's why,
right?
yeah, that's why I think labels bother me so much. I think labels bother me more so than anything because why can't I just, why do I have to have a label? Oh, so you're
Yeah,
bisexual. So you're,
yeah. Because labels are to make other people comfortable. It has nothing to do with you. It's to make them comfortable. I need to know exactly what you are
Yeah.
so that then I can know what box to put you in. I
Hmm.
don't know what box to put you in if you are all over the place. Oh, I got it. You're a hippie.
Right. We just gonna leave it like that. We
So
just leave it like that. Right.
so we had 55 minutes, y'all. And y'all know we try to respect y'all time. And
Five,
I know
five, five
Shamika has a client.
at 6:30.
Mhm.
Well,
She has a client after this.
yes.
But I asked some questions earlier. If anybody wants to answer any one of those questions, you can do so in the comments. Some people have dropped off, so I think it's just us and Sir. So, so if you come back and watch the replay, feel free to share your comments or your responses or your thoughts about this in the comments. Um, and I assure you, we are not trying to trigger anybody. I can assure you of that. But one thing we are going to do is challenge people to think critically. We are going to challenge you
Critical
to
thinking
think
skills.
to think critically for yourself.
Hmm.
And outside of that, I don't care what people believe, I don't care what people practice, and I don't care who people love.
Hmm.
And that's the point. Because what did I say earlier? It's one-sided.
Hmm.
I can accept you, I can still love you, I can still see you, but a lot of times people have issue with not accepting some of my thoughts, some of my beliefs, some of my practices, because I'm only supposed to believe what the masses think and what the masses believe and what the masses believe to be true.
Hmm.
I am a critical thinker. So I don't think this way because other people think
Hmm.
that way. I'm moved by my own set of um what is it? It's not even necessarily a belief system. It's God is inside of me and I move to that beat. I
Right.
just move to the beat that God is within me
Right.
has me to walk,
Right.
right?
Right.
And so it's just we respect
Right.
everybody and we love everybody in the same way that we're saying.
Hmm.
For those that think differently, that love differently, that have a different thought process about love, respect everybody.
Hmm.
As long as people are healthy and loving each other and they're doing the healing work
Right.
and it doesn't impact your life, be happy for
Hmm.
them. Wish them well. But to think that it is okay to sit back and judge people and talk about people and push your judgments and project your thoughts
Hmm.
and beliefs on the people is just not fair, because you get to live your life in however you want to,
Hmm.
and you don't really necessarily have to be fearful of that if you live the way most people live.
Right.
That's not a fear of yours,
Right.
because there's nothing for anybody to talk about. You do it like them.
Right.
But when you want to do something that's different, that doesn't look like anybody else, and
It's
it's funny because
scary, and it's scary in the
it's
beginning.
scary.
It's scary to do that. And but the thing is that it's scary because you're stepping outside of the norm, right? But when you do that, you'll feel a sense of freedom. Like
Hmm.
what if
Yeah.
that's the greatest thing, right? Is to be you. First of all, I always say that. What if the greatest thing you could give the world is to be you,
Yeah.
right? What if the greatest gift is you loving you and stepping out in that freedom? You know? What if that's what's important?
That's something to
It's
really
that.
think about, y'all. That's something to think about. That's a good one there, cousin.
Thank you.
So I added this last question to end this off with, and that everything just always kind of blends in together. Can you respect a relationship style that you would never participate in? Something that just seems so off, and you're like, I would never participate in that. But hey, all love and power to them, right? I don't, because I think love is constantly evolving and people are constantly evolving. And so nobody, you know, I think there are some of us that think we're trees and we have to just stay where we are, and we have to have just
Mm-mm.
one thought and just not move and not grow. And like, no, you can expand beyond that seed that you started as. You get to
Mhm.
expand and grow and learn different things and incorporate different things in your life if that makes you happy. And if it
Right.
doesn't, that's fine. Right?
Mm.
If
Right.
being you how you are is
Right.
what makes you happy, continue to do that. But if
Right.
there's something else you want to explore, or anything else that you feel like, you know what, I could be open to that.
Mm.
You can't consider other people. This is an opportunity for you to consider yourself. What is going to make me happy?
Mm-hmm.
How do I get the life that I want that's going to
Right.
make me
Right.
happy?
Right.
Because it's easy to mimic. It's
Mm.
easy to follow.
Mm.
That's easy. The hard part is what Shamika just said.
Mm.
It's hard to be different. And we
Yes.
both know it.
Mm-hmm.
We both have lived it.
And went through some depression going through it. First of all, went through some depression being in it
Mm-hmm.
because I wasn't because I'm so confined.
Yep.
I'm so confined. So I know there's something different. So then I'm not happy because I'm like, okay, doesn't feel good. Then I
Mm-hmm.
stepped out of it, and people are like, you better come back into what we believe. You better. So now I'm depressed because now I'm feeling isolated and alone
Yeah.
and lonely.
Because you're by
And so
yourself at first. You haven't
in the
found your
beginning,
tribe. You
in
haven't
the
found your
beginning,
tribe yet.
in the beginning,
In the
yes,
beginning.
in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's okay. We here to accept you just
Yeah.
as you are.
Because we will accept anybody. It doesn't matter.
Right.
Babe, you want to say something? Oh, okay. I
Oh,
guess not.
he was like, time's
we
up. He was
we
like,
know it's
time's
an
up.
hour, babe. We know. We just had to
Time's
get
up.
that last part out. Dang. Okay, so the foundation should be about, is there honesty? Is there communication? Is
Hmm.
there respect? And is there awareness?
Yes.
It, as long as those things and a few more things is
Hmm.
there, it's just give me respect. Just give other people respect.
Hmm.
It doesn't have to look like
What
what
if,
you do.
man, and what if it's so funny because people are like, I want peace. I want peace in the world. I want, okay, you know what? I'm saying that, and I know people don't want that. Nothing. I'm just playing. Nothing. I'm be quiet.
Mm-hmm. Because if you wanted peace, you would do what makes you happy. You would do what brings you joy, and you wouldn't be worried about and consumed with other people's
Other
lives.
people's stuff. Exactly.
Because what did I tell you the other day? I'm like, I've never been the one interested in other people's lives. I have never been the person that want to sit up and gossip about, they doing this and they doing that,
Sorry.
and then I don't give a shit. I got real day-to-day life issues going on in my personal life. I
Every
do
day.
not care about
Right.
what this person and that person and this person got going on. It does,
Hmm.
because let's think about it. I don't really know. I
Right.
don't really know.
I don't know what I don't know
I'm
I don't
hearing
know their
I'm
life.
hearing a trickle of information here and there,
And it don't
but
always be the truth. It's like the game. Do you remember the game telephone? Where you whisper in somebody's ear, and then by the
yep,
time you get to the end, it's a whole nother, you didn't
yep,
hold a whole nother something that ain't
a
even real.
whole nother story.
That's why I don't care.
So I just be trying to mind my own
That's why my own
business
business.
and do my own thing that makes me happy and brings me
That's it.
joy,
That's all. That's
because
it. That's
what other
all.
people are doing has no bearing on my life whatsoever.
Right.
So
Agreed.
believe what you want, love who you want, move in life how you want, because
That's
at the
right.
end of the day, this is your life. This your
Yours.
life.
This ain't your
Don't
mama
let
life.
nobody
This ain't your
talk you
daddy
out of your
life.
joy and
Mm-mm.
your peace. Do it your way. I don't give
That's
a shit
right.
how. Look, people have talked. I love you and Marcus and what y'all doing, but this might not be for you.
Mm-hmm.
It might.
And you don't.
This might not be for you.
And
And guess
nobody
what?
know behind closed doors. Don't
I
nobody
was
know
just
what
about to
y'all
see.
see.
This how much y'all see
It's
of me and Marcus.
right there. Right. They got a whole
That's
big
how
life. And this.
much y'all see.
Mm-hmm.
You see that much. I promise you. That's all you seeing. I promise you. That's all you see. I can
That's all you
assure
getting.
you.
That's all you getting.
That's all you
That's
see.
all you getting. Yeah. Yeah, that's all you're getting. And that's
I don't
okay.
even talk about my marriage to people.
Hmm.
It's very surface level. All we do I call you and complain about my husband?
No.
And you
No.
my best sister cousin.
Say it again so everybody else can hear. So all the other cousins can hear. I'm your what?
The best sister cousin, and I do not call anybody and share my marital anything.
Right.
I don't do that because that's for me and him to work through.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I need therapy, I'm gonna go get a therapist.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, I don't pull other people into the life that
Mm-hmm.
I live in these four walls.
Right. Right.
So the only way that anybody would know is if they came up in here and put cameras and shit.
Right.
And we gonna know you did it because I got cameras outside.
Right. Right. We gonna know it's you.
We gonna know it's you. Okay, so you want to close us out, cousin? I'm sorry, I
Yes.
kept talking.
Yay. Yay. So thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for I feel like when you sign on with us, it's like when you sign on here, I feel like you choosing you because that's what we encourage, right? Encourage
Mhm.
you to choose you. So we thank you for choosing you this evening. And I just asked you you don't have to close your eyes. Just take a deep breath. We're going to do 3 deep breaths. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're gonna do one more because we can't do three because we almost late. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Thank you guys again for showing up for yourself. And may all of life come to you with ease and joy and glory. What else is possible and how does it get any better than this?
Yes. Love it. Thank y'all so much for coming out. Make sure next Tuesday you are on with the gents. Marcus and Junior Lily will be coming back with the heat, with that fire. So we'll be back next week on Tuesday for the fellas edition. Until next time, peace.